got some snow coming my way, and I'm not looking forward to it. I don't look forward to this time of the year every year. Why? Because, well, if you're a technician, you're out in this, it's sometimes miserable, and no one wants to be frozen or feel like they're frozen with their fingers or their toes. But I'm hoping that there's not a lot of snow, and that if there is, I can still get to the customers that do call that have issues that I can fix. And another thing is transformers not being stocked up at electric companies. You know, what if we have a transformer blow and there we are, they can't get transformers, so people are without power for a couple weeks. So that's something I really don't like about this time of the year. But I'm hoping everything goes well. But if it doesn't, I've got wood stocked up, and I am ready with my fireplace to heat my home, to provide myself with nice water and clean water to drink, and then to cook my food using that fireplace. Sorry. Hey. So I want to do a video today and just talk about heat pumps for a minute, because I just got a comment on my post of a video that's older that I made, and somebody's telling me it's bad advice that I should tell somebody to turn their emergency heat on when there's snow falling and it's getting all over the outdoor unit and is basically making it to where no air can pass through that unit. And I don't think they understand. Of course, there's a balance point. And if you know what balance point is, if you don't know what balance point is, I'm going to teach you what balance point is right now. So whenever you do a load calculation, like a J load, and you're using, right soft, you got a software you're using, you go to a house, you do a J load, and the J load says, the manual J says, your house is certain, and it says you need a 35,486 BTUs, right? So you're like, okay, closest, unit is 36,000 BTUs. So I'm going to do a 3-ton heat pump. There's a sheet called a balance point sheet, okay? And that balance point sheet, basically, it has a line, and there's a load of your structure that's on that chart that says 35,000, and then there is the capacity of the equipment that's on that sheet, and then there's temperature. And as the temperature goes down, you have a different balance point, which is the amount of heat that is going to be, that's basically the capacity of your equipment at a certain temperature. A home is going to require more capacity than your equipment is rated for. So there's a balance point where the lower the temperature outside, you're hitting a balance point where the load or capacity of your equipment is not enough for the structure. And for some units, that's 25 degrees. For some units, that's 30 degrees. For some units, that's 20 degrees. We got modern equipment now to where even in the 10-degree weather, we still have a good output to input. But for most conventional heat pumps, whenever you get ice and snow and it accumulates all over that outdoor unit, sometimes your unit cannot defrost, okay? And whenever it can't defrost and it can't get all of that ice off of that coil, then you can't actually pass air through that coil, and you can't gain heat from the outside air. It's not worth it. And then you couple that with the fact that you could damage something, the blade, the coil, anything. A component can be damaged, and then you're definitely losing money. So when there's snow out and it's 10 degrees and you got a regular heat pump, I'm telling you to turn it to emergency heat. And I'm basing that off of balance point, the fact that your structure, the capacity of your equipment versus the capacity of the structure, it's now exceeded that. Got some comments. Good morning, Tad. Good to see you. You're doing well. Thanks, Brian. Hope you're doing well, my brother. HVAC joining. If you're interested in seeing the balance point sheet and how I do a balance point, I would love to show you. It's something I started doing when I was doing TVA jobs. You know, we have to do a CFM TVA checklist where we have, you know, we calculate the CFM based off the return grill and the feet per minute, that, you know, that with an anemometer, you know, you calculate all the feet per minute, and then there's a formula you use for heating and cooling. If you're a member, I've sent you this. If you're a member and you haven't got this yet, let me know and I'll send it to you. I'll give you my email. It's going to be 9 degrees in the morning. They're going to be in trouble tomorrow without a good strong aux heat. You're right. You're absolutely right. But for you to, you know, and I'm not talking about modern heat pumps. Modern heat pumps can gain heat from the outside air. Modern heat pumps, like mini splits, are designed differently to where your air is a side discharge. It's no longer top discharge. So the air is not coming out of the top, it's coming out of the side. And it's harder for that snow to get on that coil, because if a conventional equipment is a top discharge, right, then that means that the snow can go right through. On the off cycle, it goes right through. It accumulates on the fan blades. You get a big old block of snow on the fan blades, block of ice, and that sucker turns on, boom. It causes an imbalance, fan blade, fan motor, something, coil gets damaged. It's so easy for things to get damaged, and you can avoid all those issues if you have a conventional heat pump and you just switch it to auxiliary heat. When the snowstorm's over, then boom, you're good to go. But I just can't believe these people that are commenting on my channel and going, that's bad advice for you to tell them to turn it to emergency heat. You know, they can still gain heat. What about modern heat pumps? I'm not talking about modern heat pumps. You know, modern heat pumps, they're great. They don't even have auxiliary heat. They don't even have heat strip. Heat pump made by York, it's got backup emergency, although it works, you know, at lower temperatures and has greater, you know, heat output than a conventional system. And then you've got Samsung has a ducted unit. It has the upflow multi-position air handler, which I usually put auxiliary heat strips in that type of unit. You know, you usually put, for a 3-ton unit, you'll put 10 kW in there. You know, 2-ton unit, I usually put 7.5, 8 kW, sometimes 10 kW. I'm never usually going below 10 kW. I'll usually, you know, 3.5, 4-ton unit, 15 kW, 5-ton unit, 15, 20 kW. So you don't want to use this as your primary source of heat, of course, you know, because 10 kW has got a 60 amp breaker, and a 5-ton unit, to run a 5-ton outdoor heat pump, you'd have a 60 amp breaker. So much better to run the heat pump than it is auxiliary heat. So I just want to do this video though, that way if anybody's got any questions of why I am saying to turn your heat pump to emergency heat when there is a snowstorm or snow or ice and it's in the 10-degree weather, why I'm telling you to turn it to emergency heat, the reason why is to avoid all this damage that can occur, and then you have to go out and you have to fix it. So anyways, just want to get that off my chest. Thank you guys so much for being here and watching my videos. I've been doing quite a few videos. I've done a lot of shorts because shorts are much easier, and sometimes I just get the point across a lot quicker to you and give you the knowledge instead of having to do a long drawn out video. I know a lot of you like the longer videos, and I like doing the longer videos. So, but hope you're healthy and hope you're happy. And if you got questions, let me know the questions. I'm here to help. I've put in my 10,000, now probably 20,000 hours, so I don't have to guess the answers. I know what I'm doing when it comes to HVAC, and it's because I made a lot of mistakes and I didn't have somebody that could show me the way, show me what to do. I just had the job and I had to get the job done, so I figured it out. And that's what I'm still doing. Every single day I'm figuring stuff out, because there's a lot of issues, especially with new equipment, problems you've never had before. You know, with the advance of technology, we got a lot of tools now that we have at our fingertips that are able to give us readouts that people 50 years ago didn't have, which is unbelievably amazing. It makes us more precise, makes us more accurate, and we're able to figure things out faster, and it's just awesome. I love it. I love technology, and I love it, but at the same time, I don't want it to make people dumb. because it can make you dumb. It can make you lazy. But still, love technology. What are you guys doing today? What's everybody doing? Hit the like button if you haven't already. I hope you're healthy, and I hope you're happy, and I hope that if you need help, that you've got the help you need. How do you diagnose a bad TXV? Well, that's a good question. I got a video on that too. How do you diagnose one? Well, what I do is, because, you know, after you've seen a bad TXV, you know, it can do different things. Like, you know, in the cooling mode, you're using the indoor TXV. In the heating mode, you're using the outdoor TXV if you're in a heat pump. If you're working on a heat pump. If it's just straight air, you know, or it's a split gas unit, you got an indoor TXV and that's it. And how do you diagnose it? A TXV can send the low side pressure into a vacuum. And whenever you add refrigerant, if your coil's not frozen, make sure your coil's not frozen, make sure you got good airflow, make sure your fan's running, make sure your coil's not dirty, make sure your filter's not dirty. And when you try to add refrigerant, the suction pressure doesn't do nothing, just stays in a vacuum, right? You want to check your filter dryer, make sure your filter dryer's not stopped up, but it's not doing nothing. Your low side pressure staying in a vacuum. Trying to add refrigerant, it's not going nowhere. But your high side pressure is just skyrocketing. That's an indication of a bad TXV. What do? I go to the bulb. I take the bulb off. I hold the bulb in my hand. Warm it up. What happens when you warm up a bulb of a TXV? TXV opens, right? Because whenever that bulb senses cold, right? If I make that bulb cold, that TXV will slow the metering of that refrigerant into that coil. Okay? So it'll shut down. Warm it up, it opens up. It thinks there's not enough liquid, right? Although it doesn't think, it works off of, you know, a different principle. But, you know, with a TXV, they're a very commonly misdiagnosed part, because people don't check everything else, like the filter dryer, make sure there's not a big temperature difference across it. They don't check the coil for, you know, dirt and debris. They don't check the filter. They don't check the airflow. You got to check everything else. And then see if that TXV is working by taking that bulb off and hold it in your hand, making it warm, and see if the pressure changes. If nothing changes, TXV's got to be bad. If you add refrigerant and your coil's not frozen and it's in the cooling mode and your pressure just stays in a vacuum on the low side, boom, I've had high head pressure, or I've had the head pressure not doing right. You know, you just look at the pressures and you do things that you know are going to change those pressures. And if they don't change, then you look at that TXV. That's how I do it. Process of elimination. You do one thing and then you do something else, and then you think about it. Hope that helps, buddy. You're awesome, my brother. I'm covered up with service due to cold. You're absolutely right, man. Good advice. I'm warning customers before the cold snap. Coming up with the very same thing. Have a great one. All right, have a great one, my brother. Thank you very much. You're awesome. About to go to a no heat call. Big pimpin' 4425 in the house, baby. 4425. All right, brother. Hey, good luck with that. Hope it's an easy call. Today, diagnosing a heat strip not coming on. Help! Heat strip not coming on, my brother. We'll check the call to the sequencer, if the sequencer is what controls it, or a contactor. And then check across the contacts. And if there's voltage, that means that it is open. And if there's no voltage across the contacts, that means it's closed. And I've got a video on how to check sequencer, so go check out that video. Old cast iron radiators in garage won't heat after bleeding. What next? That makes sense. Thank you. All right, good deal, my brother. Watch my video on the TXVs. And guys, think about joining, becoming a member, man. Really appreciate it. Helps me. Love your videos. Big pimpin'. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. Have a great day. Yee. Y'all ready? I'm ready, baby. You know, I'm the only one that works every year at my company, because, you know, we ground the service vans, you know, because of liability, and they're not full-wheel drive. And, you know, I'm driving a truck and it's full-wheel drive. And, you know, there's been some years where I've gotten stuck 2 or 3 times in my service van. How much is a membership? $2. $2, I'll give you my email, and then I'll send you a bunch of guides. So you'll learn about geothermal, you'll learn about airflow and duct design. You know, $2 unless you want more. You know, you want my phone number, you know, that's a different price, that's a different membership level. You want to work with me once a week, that's a different price. The next call is just a little bit down the road. You're awesome, brother. All right, what else? I missed one. Old cast iron radiators in garage won't heat after bleeding. What next? Old cast iron radiators in garage. Old cast iron radiators. So what are you using? Are you using a boiler? Are you using an on-demand hot water heater tied into those radiators? Are you using a hot blast stove? Or you got a wood hot blast stove outside connected in? How are you doing it? And if it won't heat, you know, have you checked the pump, made sure their water's running? Have you checked and made sure? There's a couple things you got to check. You got to check and make sure that you got your burners are lit with whatever device you're using to heat. I would have to have more information on that one. And you know, there's my phone numbers available. I help people every day from all over the place. I send mini splits to all over the place. I go drive and I do consultation work. I mean, you know, I'm open. And you know, one thing that I want you to know as well, for anybody that's watching this video afterwards, there is a lot of people that hit me up, a lot of people, and they ask me for help. And then there's people that go click the join button. They know what they want from me. They know, they get my phone number. We make a phone call. 10 minutes later, their issues are solved, but they knew what they needed. They supported me. And so instantly I'm on it. I'm supporting them. But for all the people that they just put out the question real quick and they don't consider supporting me and don't consider my schedule and how crazy it is. Guys, just for your information, to let you know what I do every day, I have a company with 10 employees, and every day I spend about 8 hours working, right? And then after that, I'm usually editing video. And then after that, I have a medical manufacturing company that I work for. I build refrigeration machines for Vanderbilt Hospital and other hospitals so that they can actually use those machines in the operating room. And there's about 2,500 heart surgeries a year. And I actually have already built 2 machines for Vanderbilt, and they are in the operating room right now. And I've been doing that for about a month. It's a very new project, but it's very cool. I love new things. These things look like water fountains. They're called Hush Lush machines, and I've been building those. So I am literally working so much. I work every weekend. I work every day, almost every single day, and I love it. I'm not saying it to say, I work way too much and, you know, I'm just blah, 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 blah. Who cares? I'm doing cool stuff and I like it. I want every one of you to want to do cool stuff. And if you want opportunity, then you're going to get opportunity if you search for it. And you're always open-minded. So I hope you get that. But I'm able to do all these cool things. I'm helping people online. I'm helping people now at the hospital because I've built these machines that they'll be using to pack slush into our bodies whenever we're having open heart surgery to keep tissues and organs from being damaged. I'm helping customers every day running this company. So the possibilities are endless, especially with this career, especially with this knowledge, especially with this experience that you can get. I know some days you might think, I got so much to do and I need to hurry up and, you know, but enjoy it because, man, if you're in this field, you are going to get so much opportunity and such good knowledge. It's going to be amazing for you. And I want you to know that. Because I would have never thought that I could have had an opportunity to build a machine that would be in an operating room in Vanderbilt and where this could possibly lead me. Now I'm looking at redesigning this equipment and building it into a way where, you know, no one's ever built a machine like what I'm about to build. No one has ever built this specific machine with the way I'm about to build it and make it work, which is way more efficient. But, you know, it's just awesome, man. You know, I like building things and It's fun to just do cool stuff and do new stuff. So, you know, I don't want to, I don't like to be not busy. I like to be busy, and it makes the day better. So, don't know where I'm going, but what else we got? Please do. Can never have too many help chains. Yeah. Help chains. Yeah. Yeah. You can never have enough help, man. It's good to have people in your life that can help you. So, yep. I'm at my call. Looks like it's a trailer. Probably a bad sequencer or something like that. If you don't know anything about sequencers or how to check them, I got a video on that. I've got all kinds of videos now. I got like over 1,000 videos. Never thought this would be my niche, but it is. This is what people want. What are your thoughts on selling HVAC equipment versus repairing them? Repair them. Repair them. Repair them, repair them, repair them. I love repairing them. Big Pimp at 4425. You're my friend. Comment below after this video is posted, Big Pimpin', and I'm going to send you my email. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day, bro, and Merry Christmas to you and your family. Thank you, my brother. I wish you the same, and I hope you have a blessed day, my brother. How can I get your number? Where I need to sign in? So where can you sign in? There's a, make sure you're not on an iPad. Make sure you're on a computer. There's going to be a join button beside the video at the bottom on any of my videos. You can click the join button. You can become a member. You can get my phone number. It's level, I think, 4. Level 3, you get to see all my sizing videos, sizing equipment, sizing ductwork, how to install ductwork, you know, sales training, geothermal training, how to use a flush card, all this kind of stuff. Just found your channel. Great content. Flex Ortiz, my brother, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Big Pimpin', make sure you get my email after this video post. Comment below and say, hey, can I get that email? And I will give you my email, all right? And I'll send you some guides that you'll like. I got some mini split troubleshooting guys. So definitely repair equipment. Anytime you go to install new equipment, sometimes you've got things like you need to add a return and there's no place to add a return, or you have ductwork that's too small and you've got to tear out some ductwork and this doesn't meet the customer's budget. And if you don't offer financing or you don't have a way through a gas company or through a local municipality for them to get a financed unit, then they can't afford that extra cost of the ductwork. And because the new unit is much bigger, right? Blower size, we got ECM motors, we got all this, you know, the ECM motors don't like static pressure. So if you get ducts too small, it's going to ruin the motor early. You know, it's just going to provide the customer with a bad experience because the new equipment with 410A and you need like 4 or 5 inch more bigger duct, you know, because we went from 0.1 to 0.0 static, 0.05 static, you know, we got like 4 more inches of ductwork that we need. Most equipment that I install now, you go and the ductwork's too small and you're like, oh man, well, I can install a 3-ton unit, but it's probably not going to work very good. Well, what do you mean? I want it to work good. Well, I'm sorry, Mrs. So-and-so, but your trunk line's not big enough and it's going to cost an extra $2,000 or $3,000 to get that. Well, I just don't have that. Just put the unit in, because that's what they want. Just put the unit in. It'll be fine. No, it won't be fine. It won't be fine. And you don't want to have to alter the unit or the ductwork in a way to where it's not right just for it to work. You know, like cut holes in ductwork. I've had to do that, by the way, because you couldn't get underneath the house to get in the crawl space because there was this much room. No room. They built the ductwork like this long and this narrow and this wide, and you can't even get underneath there. And it's not big enough, but there's nothing you can do, and it's a heat pump, so during the heating mode, not enough air across the indoor coil, so the head pressure is really high, viscosity of the oil breaks down, compressor's not lubricated, compressor doesn't last as long. You know, it's tripping out on high head pressure, coming back on, tripping out on high head pressure, coming back on. Hey, this thing ain't right. Can you come back out? You're just trying to get it to work, right? But there's nothing you can do. I have been in that situation 100 times. And then I've been in situations where new equipment had bad indoor TXVs. American Standard, 2009, changed about 100 TXVs. Indoor TXVs were all bad. Emerson product, it was from Mexico, and they were all bad. So I get all these pieces of equipment out in the field, And all these customers have all these new units that have to change indoor TXVs on. And then I go through the whole York thing. About 5 years ago, York had indoor coils, and they didn't have their brazing machine set up right in the manufacturing facility. So it didn't braze all the U-bends in good enough. It didn't make the copper thick enough. So then I changed indoor coils. And because they didn't make new indoor coils that didn't leak, all the indoor coils that I put in leak. Oh, it was terrible. It was so terrible. They sent out letters. They did the recall. But you know what? The customer, some of them, they think you have sold them a piece of crap, and you get associated with that piece of junk that, well, somebody decided to manufacture, knew they had the problems, but they kept selling the units. And they thought it'd be easier for us just to send the coils out there and for the company just to replace the coils. But then they didn't realize, you know what? They should have took care of that themselves, so that those companies could have spent time taking care of the other problems that needed to be taken care of. So it's terrible. These are experiences that I've had, and it is sad when I've got a lady right now, guys. I keep getting messages. I've got a lady right now, 27 claims. Her unit is 11 years old. She's got a bad compressor right now, and she's using emergency heat all winter long because she's not sure if she wants to buy another unit from me. That brand I'm talking about. And the brand is York. 27 claims. I changed her compressor twice. I changed her indoor coil 3 times. I changed her TXV. I changed her indoor motor, ECM motor, right? I changed her boards. Just everything. It was just terrible. So I'd rather repair equipment, especially when we're entering a place where we might not be able to get parts as quick. Part prices are going up. I'd rather repair equipment all day long. Let's just keep it running, because the new equipment, I don't want problems with it. Thank you. Just found your channel. I just had a compressor show ohm to ground intermediately on my meter. When I used subcode measure, it read good. What are your thoughts? Have you seen this before? Listen, if you're reading ohms to ground, that means when you start that unit up, it's going to pop that breaker. So if it's shorted to ground, it's not going to run. It's going to hit that breaker. So if it's really shorted to ground and it's reading ohms to ground, it's not going to run. You're going to know for sure. Just plug the power up, turn it on, and you'll know, okay? Wouldn't emergency heat 4x the bill? Wouldn't it 4x the bill? 4x. Do you really want to break this down and try to figure it out? Let's see. You got a heat pump that uses a 30 amp breaker. It's a 3-ton unit. The heat pump uses 30 amp. The heat strip uses 60. If I turn the heat strip on, I'm going to be using double the power. So it's probably about double. It's probably not 4x. You got to look at 60 for my 10 kW heat strip on my 3-ton unit, and 30 just for my heat pump. If you run both together, then maybe 4x from 30 to 90, but I don't think it's 4x from, just your 30 to your 60. I think it's double. I hear you, brother. Love from Australia. DJ Funky Chicken. Thank you, my brother. I'm here in Tennessee. I ended up swapping it, FYI, but I've never had inconsistent readings. If you're having inconsistent readings, make sure that your meter leads are plugged into your meter very well, and make sure that you have a second meter. So that actually, what you've got, the second meter, is a great idea. Guys, it's been about 30 minutes. I probably need to walk inside, but thank you so much for being here, watching the video. If you could hit the like button before you leave, and if you do need my help, I am here to help, okay? And I will help you. I've got guides I can send you. I've got members only videos that if you haven't seen, they can jumpstart your career. If you are wanting to be a technician, you do need to learn how to talk to the customer. You need to learn how to sell. You need to learn how to price. You need to learn how to size. You need to learn about geothermal. I've got all those videos. You just got to be willing to click the join button, become a level 3, and then you can have that access. So if you need my phone number, there's about 5 people right now that are members that have my phone number. And all of them, if you could speak to them right now, would tell you that within 10 minutes of talking to me, that I was able to solve their issues and make that value worth it. So, end up swapping FYI, but I've never had to say I got it. Great content. I will share, brother. Thank you. But also the heat strip is probably less efficient on power usage. I'm joining after my job today. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Stay healthy. Stay happy. This is Tad reminding you, a merry heart doeth good like a medicine, but a broken spirit drieth the bones. And also that a poor wise child is better than a rich, foolish king. I'm an electrician that may one day have a mechanical license as well. Excellent. See you guys. Have a great day.